Welcome.
You know, it's Black in the City with Makita and this girl who sits over here who sometimes matters, but not all the time. But
my life matters all the way, and it's Sierra CC on the mic if you want to get technical.
come on, bitch.
Yes. Welcome to our Dirty 30 episode.
Hey.
How you doing?
Dirty 30.
Yes.
30.
So hand claps for that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Appreciate you guys for tuning into all 30 episodes because we know
Yes.
that you guys are loyal. You know what I'm saying?
And you smart.
You smart. You
Right.
patient.
And you brush your
report.
teeth. Some of you.
Yes.
Shout out to it. I haven't gotten to say that in a long time, so I have to say it. So, but we have some special guests in the building. Yes.
Wait.
Brother.
Who is this episode brought to you by?
Oh my gosh, guys. This episode is brought to you by Broken Kids brand. We have some dope apparel on their website as well as some apparel that they already have.
Mm-hmm.
Their brand is about starting the mental health conversation in the urban community. So go to www.brokenkidsbrand.com. Also check them out on Instagram at Broken Kids Brand.
Oh, you nailed it,
Get
girl.
your lives together.
Come on, girl.
Yes.
You nailed it. But like Sarah was saying, I don't know if you can feel it through the phone, but I hope you can. That we got some chocolate, some extra fine chocolate in the building today, and I know that you can sense it.
Might.
Women, your spidey senses are tingling that there's fine men on the line, but we do have special guests.
We have
us. Who
one
we got,
chocolate,
Sierra?
huh?
We got one chocolate.
Wow.
We got one chocolate for you, and we have to have caramel for me.
Okay, fine. It's
Equality, equity.
That's crazy. I thought that
Equity.
was chocolate too.
Baby, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, we're not really
baby.
selling that.
Chocolate come in different
Y'all heard little
Thank you,
Barry
bro.
White.
Thank you.
You heard Barry White over here. I'm just gonna let him introduce himself
Right.
first because I know you already heard that.
I know you heard that.
Booby, go ahead. Let
That
the
rumble
people
in
know
the
who you
jungle.
are.
Hey, what's going on, Booby Miles from
Stop.
Chicago?
Yo, what's going on? Olu from DC.
Didn't you
By
guys
Nigeria.
Oh, come on now.
Yep,
Oh,
yeah.
I found out I'm Nigerian too.
Yeah,
28%, baby. Let's go.
Stop.
Olu and Booby. Let's go.
More than just honorary.
Let's go.
So you count is what you're saying.
100,000%.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Niger King.
Ooh,
Let's
stop.
go.
That's a bit too far.
Slow down.
It's a bit far, bro.
Didn't you guys like go to the same school? Or?
Ain't you?
You know.
Oh
Some
my
niggas.
gosh.
Yeah.
Such
For all of you
ratchetry.
guys who like don't know the things, Howard University.
The Howard University.
The illustrious Howard University.
Didn't Tyrone rob y'all or no? Oh, okay.
Nah.
No?
There's
He
actually-
finesse. Call the man by his name.
Thank
What's his
you.
name?
Tyrone Finesse God.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, Tyrone got that
see,
money.
I see no lies.
But really though, I'm not gonna speak on Tyrone. I don't know all the facts. You know what I'm saying? He got a $10 million lawsuit going on.
I was about to say, I was just about
Because
to
he's
say
going
that.
through distress. I feel it. That's real.
Hey, all I know is that if you already there, if you've made it that far, your only job is to get what you came for. And that's the smartest thing he ever did. Okay, y'all want to play hardball? I got it. Cool. Y'all leak my records. Bet. Run me my money. More
I mean, he
money.
did look like he stole something. But we're gonna get the show going because he did look like he was stealing.
Ah!
No, he just had that look. You know that look when niggas be lying.
I think
There we
he
go.
stole it too, but I'm not gonna knock it because white people have been stealing stuff since the beginning of time. And if he did what he wanted to do and
Reparations.
nailed it, knock yourself out. It doesn't matter. I don't have nothing to say about it. You know we're gonna leave it at that.
This is
My
so
name
racial.
Bennett. I ain't in it.
Yeah, he's
nothing to say on that.
He definitely laundered that money.
You eat your
But-
pretzel, girl.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get this show popping because
Exactly.
I'm so excited for the
I
games
know.
that we will play because you know I love playing games.
Yeah, you do.
On people's phones.
Oh, stop
so
it.
let's do it.
So you guys, this week we decided to switch it up to take a little break from our normal setup cadence of things that we talk about this week, and we're just gonna free ball it. Basically, we're just gonna wing it.
Come on, free balls.
You know, we've
Free the
been
balls.
collecting questions and things from the listeners.
Yo. We just gonna slide right past that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what a lot of people do.
I'm
That's
just
your
trying to.
job. You can roast her if you want to. We got time for
Look,
that.
nah, that's too easy.
No,
you gonna let her have that?
We're gonna let that go.
Come on,
Cool,
Commander,
cool.
let's get it. Come on.
Stop. So we're gonna go ahead. We've been collecting questions. Some, all the ladies, y'all had some things to ask Booby, had things to ask Olu. So we got all the questions from the women wanting to ask them. Some of the men sent me some questions for Sierra and I. So we're just gonna get into it. We're just gonna see where life takes us. For those of you who can't, I know I heard that. I was a little rough. You wasn't going to Iraq? Cool.
It's a little weird.
We got alcohol, we got snacks as per usual. So we're just gonna we're gonna be free. And so with that,
free.
I figure we'll start on the more serious end because I think that once we get too far left, we're never gonna come back. So we should just start with things that actually matter. So
like my life. Go ahead.
Yes, and that's what we're talking about because Black Lives Matter. So you guys, if you've been listening, which I know you have because you loyal, we've been talking about Stephon Clark and a bunch of other things that have been going on. So for those of you who don't know or listening today especially, Stephon Clark was murdered in his backyard in Sacramento by the Sacramento Police Department. They shot 16 rounds at him, 8 of which hit him, 6 of which hit him in the back. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And so really we've been talking about gun control, police violence for a couple weeks now since it just doesn't seem to get out of the news cycle. And so really what I thought would be the most interesting is really to feel or to ask, how do you guys feel about like what, I don't know. I know we've talked about how I sometimes feel scared when I see police. And I mean, I'm a woman to begin with. Overall, that's a completely different experience than being a man. And I know that I don't feel safe when the police are around, even if I happen to call the police or need the police for something in real life. I don't actually feel safe when they arrive. And that's totally unfair and not what should be happening. But I know that has to be completely different for the two of you. And so I just want to know, what does that feel like, right? Like, does it worry you or you, I don't know. I'm not going to prompt. You guys talk.
You got it?
You got it, bro.
Now this is an interesting topic. Where do I begin?
Wherever you want.
Now, I mean, first thing that came to mind was a Chris Rock joke, right? Nobody loves the police, but if your house gets robbed, who you gonna call?
The police.
Ghostbusters.
So there's a lot of different layers to it, and me specifically, I've been pulled over by the cops a lot because every now and then, I might have a lead foot or whatnot. So whenever I get pulled over, I usually know the cop is behind me before he even realizes he's about to pull me over. I feel like, and it's cool. And I have some procedures I do whenever I get pulled over by a cop. Cause
like what?
I need to make him feel comfortable.
Totally.
Cause me, I don't like guns. I've never really been pro guns. I understand them as a tool. I understand the freedom people have around them, so on and so forth. But I also know human beings are flawed in a lot of different ways and very emotional creatures that carry a lot of fears. So anybody with a gun is just like, I'm gonna be a little sensitive with somebody with a gun, especially if they have a reason they need to pull it out. Right. Because a lot of human beings don't have good aim either, cops included. Okay. So whenever I get pulled over, it's like, I'm gonna make this cop feel comfortable. And there's a lot of different things I do. As soon as I get pulled over, my windows come down, I turn my music down, I put my hands in front of the steering wheel, and I'm just chilling. Like, I'm so comfortable, cops walk up and was like, how are you doing? Because you look like you're having a good day. And I'm just like, yeah. And it's about to get better, too, because you about to not write this ticket. Because all I'm thinking about whenever a cop pulls me over usually is, I'm not getting a ticket because I don't want to give up my hard-earned money. So
wait, I'm sorry. Before you go forward, do you frequently finesse your way out of speeding tickets?
In the past, when I used to get pulled over all the time, because I'm an adult now,
okay,
and I don't get pulled over that often anymore. I think I probably had like a 70% success rate of not getting a ticket.
Come on, statistics. All right. Yeah, how do we
life
finesse?
Was good. And I mean, because at the end of the day, it's just another human being that happens to have a gun and he has a badge. He has a lot of excuses why he could shoot me, but I can disarm him. And I just don't want to keep him from shooting me. I want to win all the way and not get a ticket.
Right.
Touché.
So that's usually how I go through it, and I'm just thinking, how am I going to put this man at ease? Because he has his own human biases, and I just play to that.
Right.
Because I will casually be like, oh, I'm just coming from a long day in the office. So that statement in itself, he's like, oh, he got a job. He got an office job. I don't need no problems from him. Another thing I used to do, not on purpose, but I realized later on, because one cop brought it up, is my Bible used to always sit in my rearview mirror. I mean, in my... in the back window of my car. So when a cop walks up on my car back in the day, there was always a Bible there. And one cop mentions like, oh, I saw your Bible back there. And I was like, oh, you did? Like, cool. And I'm like, yeah.
Right.
So it's interesting the kind of biases human beings have, not just cops, everybody. And if you pay attention to them, you could play people by those ways. And that's just part of the game of life. It's harder in America because of the biases that exist towards blacks, especially black males, and also when you incorporate how cops are trained. Cops have the type of job where they train for the worst case scenario. So when they get out their car, they're thinking, oh, there might be somebody in this vehicle that can shoot me and kill me and I won't get home to my family, which puts them in this state of fear. And if you know any human being that's in a state of fear, they don't think properly. Because they're not calm, they're often shaken, they're just like, oh, they're worried only about the worst thing that could happen. So I present more of a, all right, I'm here, you pull me over, we're going to have a conversation, you're going to let me go, is all the energy that I'm projecting at this individual. And just keeping all of that in mind. So but then within the past like 5-6 years, I think I used to mess with cops almost too much.
So you trash. So you trash.
No. Because it's a little entertaining to me, to be honest.
So you trash, right? Got
No. I'm not the one with a gun that accidentally shoots people. Let's slow down. So like a cop pulls me over, I'm like, they'll be like, license and registration, and I'll literally be like, really? I'm serious though. And then I'll go, I'm gonna move my right hand to my right pocket to reach. Is that okay? And they'll be like, just go ahead. And at that point, when somebody tells you just go ahead, he's like, all right, I recognize you trying to be careful around me. You might almost think it's a joke, but you're still taking this seriously.
But you know what?
Right.
So that's literally the stuff I do all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't do it as a joke. I do it
for real.
Yeah, so they know.
I'm dead serious.
That's
like,
what my dad
and
taught
it
me.
wasn't when I was in college. I had some white boys and some Mexican boys in my car, and I got pulled over, lead foot, similar to my good brother. And immediately, anytime I get pulled over, both hands go on the steering wheel. My wallet comes out. It's sitting on the dash, right? And I'm just chilling and waiting. And so when they start asking, all right, license, registration, this and that, I let them know. I say, hey, I'm going to be reaching into my glove compartment. I'm going to be doing this, so that he knows. And similar to what you were saying, it disarms him. So, all right, go ahead, do that.
Yeah.
I had a lengthy conversation with my boys after that, where they thought it was funny and they thought it was a joke. And I'm just like,
too young and too black.
And it was at that moment where I was like, there are fundamental things that you just will never understand. No matter what's being portrayed in the media, no matter how many people are losing, getting killed, or what have you, you won't get it. That's just like, there's certain things as a woman I'll never understand because I'm not a woman.
Right.
And so I feel that I have to do that every single time.
Right.
And for me, it's part joke and part serious. Because, I mean, that's the best thing about every good joke. There's some truth to it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it kind of disarms the police officer, but lets him know, yo, I recognize this, but I'm going to be extra slow because I'm going to be extra careful. So you need to be extra careful. And we're kind of on the same page. And that's worked out for me a lot. I mean, a lot of different ways. Because cops will be asked questions that they just want to feel your attitude. Because they have their own biases that if you're a criminal, you're going to come at me like a criminal.
Right.
And I'm like,
guilty conscious.
Yeah, you want to be guilty conscious. So a cop will pull me over. It's like, do you know why I pulled you over? I was like, it could be for a couple of reasons, but I'm not sure which one exactly. But I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just driving to where I was going. And he's like, oh, okay. Or sometimes I take the part. It's like, oh, I changed lanes. You might not like that. I might have crossed a solid line. You might not like that. And I've done this to cops before. And they be like, okay. I wasn't even going to pull you over for none of that. But
you might run into a dickhead and they might give you a ticket for all them shits that you said.
Dickheads happen all the time. My very first ticket in my life came from a dickhead. His last name was Snyder. I still remember that shit till this day.
Snyder.
This guy Snyder.
Snyder.
And I was a little bit in the wrong, but he didn't have any evidence. And I was very, very naive back then because I was coming home from Howard. I was studying, going to my parents' house. It was like 2 a.m. You know, you were studying in the annex, and
boy,
you were studying in the annex, and I had to drive home. So
say less.
So I'm just speeding home. I mean, it's past the statute of limitations at this point. I'm just speeding home, and I passed a cop.
Statute of limitations.
And I passed him probably like at 90 miles per hour in this rural area. But he was like a couple of blocks off the side of the road, and I'm usually very observant when I'm driving. So I'm like maybe almost a half mile away from him at this point. And he pulls out into the street and he starts following, and he didn't turn his lights on. And I'm like, I got a feeling that's a cop. So I get to the next intersection. I come to a complete stop, and then I merge and join that intersection. And when I joined and turned into that intersection, I was behind another cop, and I'm like, let me just chill.
Block is hot.
I'm almost home, so it's cool. So then I realized he pulled up behind us because traffic is moving slow, and I turned into my parents' street back then. As soon as I turned to my parents' street, he turned his lights on, and he's behind me. And I'm like, fuck. So then the second cop that was in front of me makes the U-turn, and he's behind him. And as soon as the Snyder came out, I was comfortable at that point. And as soon as the first cop came out, Officer Snyder, he's walking towards my car, and he's almost in my window at this point. And this is before I even got my whole methodology of how I'm going to deal with cops for the rest of my life. The second cop was a black cop. He comes out the car, and he goes, "Why'd you pull him over?" And I forgot what Officer Snyder said, but he said something that was so mildly dismissive, the other cop left. And that's when I should have known something was up. So then he pulls me over. He's like, I got you speeding back there, and then you made an illegal right turn on red. And I'm like, what? And then he's like, license registration. I'm like, yeah, I'm just coming home from school. I'm already on the block of my parents' house. And then he writes me 2 tickets for $150. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, I gotta deal with this. So I went to court for it. And I was really naive back then. Because he didn't really have any evidence, because it wasn't like any of this was recorded, no dash cam, nothing. It was his word versus mine. And I couldn't argue that sitting in court that day. Then it was my turn. I didn't know what to say. So I was like, I was speeding, but I ain't turned right on red. He don't know what he's talking about. The judge is looking at me like,
so you were speeding, okay?
You speeding? All right,
Your Honor, this nigga lying.
Yeah, like what? She said, Your Honor, this nigga's lying.
Yeah.
Somebody get my cigarette.
No, because I hit her with, there was a second cop there. He left, and he was the one I turned in front of. So if I turned on red, he would have pulled me over. He didn't. He's not here today. So this dude was on some other stuff. So, and then that was it. But since that day on, it's just like, I know they're dickhead cops, and I know they're good cops. And just like every other situation in life, you have to navigate and know and read people and act accordingly. Yeah.
But here's my question, and then we will switch. We can move forward. But my question to the both of you, because you guys both are saying that you do, the exact same thing that my dad has always told me, and he always said, just because you're a woman doesn't mean that the rules don't apply to you. So he always told me the same thing: put your hands on the wheel, etc., etc. Don't move till they tell you what they want you to do, etc. But then when you think about, okay, I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do, the things that my parents taught me that I'm supposed to do in order to make sure that I come home, what do you? I don't know. This might be a question that you can't even really answer, because when I think about that, I automatically think about Philando Castile. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That man did exactly what he was supposed to do. He said exactly what was going on. I have a license for the weapon that I have. That weapon is in my glove compartment,
right.
But that's also where my registration is. Can I go get it? This cop said, yeah. He went to go get it, shot him. Why did you shoot him? I don't know.
She was scared.
Right, I'm scared. What? So I don't know. It's probably not even a question you can answer, but I guess, I don't know. I have such a visceral reaction personally, and I might just be somebody who's hypersensitive to these types of injustices or this type of scenario. But like that, even in and of itself, when you think about the fact that I could do everything right, I could be in my own house, I could be not doing anything wrong, and I could be Mike Brown, right? Or I could be Tamir Rice, and like I'm just existing doing all the things right. Do you think about what you have to tell your kids? Do you think about, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so first of all decisions we make are made in fear or love. And so to live a life in fear is to not live a life at all.
Absolutely.
And so
got that tatted on me, basically.
And then if you want to bring spirituality into all of this,
which you can.
First of all, anything that negative happens, anything that good happens, everything is working together for our good. And so, and also at the same time, I know I'm protected by the blood of Jesus. So,
okay, you better say that. Okay, you better say that.
No matter what happens in my life, as long as I'm acting in love, I'll be okay. And that's really just how I live. And so there's at no point where I'm like, man, I'm not going to do this because of fear. Because the minute I let fear control me, then is the minute that everything stops progressing for me.
That's it.
And how you do one thing in your life is how you do all things in your life.
Well, come on.
Right, you better go ahead, Booby, with the voice.
When it,
right.
Go ahead.
When it comes to what I'm going to tell my kids, I'm going to
Yeah.
be very honest and blunt. I don't have any kids, so I can't tell you verbatim what I'll say. Let's just get that
so
clear.
are you sure?
Let's
Are you
get
sure?
I'm very positive.
You
I
know
don't
that
have
people
any
wanted
kids.
to know. Ladies, you heard that. Okay, cool.
I'm very positive.
He has no children.
No babies.
No children.
Allegedly. Got
But
That's not what the taxes say.
right. He claiming somebody's kids.
But yeah, so like when I have this conversation with my kids, or the talk with my kids, is going to be a very real and raw talk. Because I have to be real and raw, because nobody else is going to sugarcoat anything.
Right.
But to say what I'm going to say exactly, well, come back in 10 years and we'll see what happens.
Right.
Yeah. I have a slightly different spin on this.
Okay.
I mean, I agree with you in everything you said. And I think in life, there's so many things we can't control.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing keeping a cop from just showing up saying, I'm going to kill this person and hide the evidence and make it look like this person did wrong. There's nothing preventing a cop to do that. In the modern age, we have cameras now, and that will help. But if you go back, none of that existed in the past. And everything that we're seeing now has been going on since forever. People get cheated, killed on a regular basis. Let me not Cameron, niggas die every day. But it's sad because those are the people that are supposed to protect and serve.
Absolutely.
And the tangent I was really going on was my brother's deaf, and I think some people know that. Mm-hmm. And I always wonder, like, what happens when my brother gets pulled over? Because that's just a break in communication. The cop may not know he's deaf, and so on and so forth. So it's interesting. But I don't live in fear. I try my best to never live in fear. So I never actually worry about it too much. I just always think about it like, what does situations look like for him when he has to deal with cops, when he gets pulled over? And luckily, nothing ever bad has ever happened. But one thing I do know about the deaf community and people who are deaf is they have a better grasp at reading body language than most average people. Yeah. And they also have a good way of speaking with their body. So I always wondered if that helped, because a lot of us aren't fully aware about the messages our bodies are saying. So sometimes I wonder if that helps, and so on and so forth. And then, I mean, he wears a hearing aid most of the time. Hopefully the cop sees that and doesn't think it's a grenade, and so on and so forth. So
no, but that's real, because they didn't say random stuff.
I thought it was a weapon. I thought it was a bomb. It was going to explode. I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah,
real.
Cool.
Because that makes sense.
So, but it's just that. And also, I was saying this earlier before we started, is I try to stay away from generalizations. It was like 2 or 3 years ago I got pulled over by a cop.
Look at this guy with the stories.
And I was a little speeding that night too. He pulled me over. He was like, "Where you going?" I was like, "Actually, I'm just trying to go to the restroom." He's like, "Where you coming from?" "Oh, seeing some folks from a party." "Where you going?" "Going to see some other folks from a party." He was like, "Oh man, you just partying, huh?" I'm like,
"Word."
I'm a grown ass man. So eventually he's like, "Man, just be safe." And it's like, thank you. And I was like, wait, and I asked him a question. It's like, what do you think of all the Black Lives Matters and then Blue Lives Matter situations that are going on? And he stopped. He paused for a while and he was like,
wait, you asked him this while he's pulling you over?
After I realized I wasn't getting a ticket.
Right, that's
I ain't stupid.
Okay.
I already won. Now I was just trying to get the icing on top kind of thing. So I was like, what's your views? And he goes, he spent a lot of time in the military. And just like in the military, anybody can enter the military. And at the end of the day, it's just a uniform with a human body inside. And there are good human beings and there are bad human beings. And sometimes, unfortunately, bad human beings end up in uniform. And just like I try to treat every individual like an individual, regardless of whether or not they're wearing a uniform, is kind of how he approaches it. So he did his best to not say they were bad cops. He just knows that they're bad human beings who wear uniforms. And I was like, I have to respect that.
That's real.
So that's one thing I'll give Washington State is they're a little progressive in some things when it comes to cops and courthouses. In some cases.
Ooh, boy.
Because I've been pulled over by
everybody. Cool.
A lot of cops. And I also been on jury duty. That's a whole nother conversation. It was a lady judge. Most of the cops were black on the case. Unfortunately, defendants were black too. But the case was handled very well. The black judge gave us a little bit of history in how they do a lot of things to prevent biases in the court system in Washington State. And that was just really informative, and I kind of applauded it. Even the way they do sentencing is pretty interesting because they follow a rule book to make sure there's no biases so that some little white boy in some Podunk county town isn't getting 1 year for murder while a kid in the inner city is getting 10 years for a robbery. And that's kind of things that used to happen in the past. Now they have like formal playbooks. If you commit this crime, you get this sentence with a little bit of gray area for the judge to wiggle depending on the individual, so there won't be too many biases. So not perfect, don't get me wrong, but they try their best. Yeah, they try their best.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a little drink on that one because we just go mosey right along because we don't need to get me started on that subject. However, I know we've all learned the hard way. So we have all these questions that we really just like need to get answered for the people because we
need to get them answered.
Yeah, we need to give the people what they want.
They specifically wanted these questions for the two of you.
We need to give the people what they want.
Specifically for the two of us.
So
together as a unit.
So we're just gonna go ahead and dive right in, and we're just gonna get to it. So
what happens when I don't answer a question?
No, you have to answer.
You take a shot.
All right.
Ooh, yes, I like that, Sierra.
You know how I roll.
With that. If you don't answer, you take a shot. The people,
and Booby's over there contemplating, marinating. He gonna answer
you may have
questions.
to fill my cup up. Let's keep it moving.
Let's go.
Let's keep it moving.
Don't worry, I'll call your Uber. Don't worry about that. Okay, so we just gonna start out deep. This was some Sierra, I think. I'm not sure who gave it to her, but shout out to you guys.
Maybe something a little light.
Light? You don't want that one?
Something lighter, because I
Okay.
feel like that one might be.
Oh, you trying to build up to that question?
Yeah, that might have to start
Is
an
that
argument.
serious?
I now almost feel like we
it
might
might
as well
start
just
an
get to
argument.
it.
We could just start right there.
Like, I
You know
feel
what
like we
I'm
need to
saying?
rip the band-aid
No,
off and keep it moving.
just something
No, we
fun.
just,
Something fun, because that was a little bit too
here's what I
hard.
want to know. Are strippers wifeable for you?
Ooh.
Good Lord.
Huh? Go ahead, Booby. Are
Yeah, go
strippers
ahead.
wifeable?
Oh, it's super slow for me. That's a.
For those who don't know
Listen,
what super slow means, like my
so-
mom and my dad, they don't know what that means.
So
Super
super
slow, I don't know
slow
what that
means
means
that no, thank you. I'll pass.
Oh, I'm hip.
I will have to defer to somebody else. I
Why?
don't judge strippers. I just know that there's a difference between a hoe and a housewife.
You don't judge strippers?
Oh.
No, I really.
How do you determine which stripper to give the 22 and the dollar bill to?
Stop.
Well, if you pull out all singles for everybody, you don't
Equal
discriminate.
opportunity.
Come on. You just pull out singles for everybody.
But
and
Cardi
you're good to
B
go.
was a stripper.
I was gonna
And
say,
I
do you
would
feel the
never
same?
wipe her stripper or not.
Okay, wait. I have a
Why?
question.
Because she can't read?
No, she can read. She actually knows a lot about like.
But I'm
I
saying-
read something, but we're
Why
not
you
going to talk about
judging?
that.
I'm not
but do
judging.
you feel?
It was
I want to
just a
know. I need a
generalization.
clarification question, Booby. Do you feel the same if a person was once a stripper in a past life, or is actively a stripper now? Like if she was a stripper when she was like 18 or 19,
Yeah.
dead that life, lived her best college life, went to
Amber
Howard with
Rose.
you, you met her. Okay, no.
Amber Rose
but
is
went to,
nasty.
and then she grew up to be regular. Went to
Yeah.
Howard with you.
But wait,
man.
pause for
Went to
the
Howard
cause.
with you.
Pause for the cause.
Went to Howard with you.
Wait,
Can we-
pause for the
Actually-
cause?
Pause for the cause. Can we just talk about the fact that Amber Rose came on the television or wherever on a radio interview and was like, "Can't nobody tell me that my best friend can't suck
suck dick."
penis."
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
says that? You're not my friend anymore. Who
Oh,
says
Black
that?
China. Oh, she could have. She didn't have to say that. She could have left that.
Yeah, she coulda
Because the
left.
whole world knows she don't got.
She ain't got
no
it in her.
head game. So.
I saw a clip.
Really?
She don't got it in her.
You be judging other girls' head game?
Well, the video
The
was on
video-
every social media possible.
I didn't watch it on purpose. It just came up in an Insta story. And
I'm telling you,
It
I
just
tried
popped
to
up.
avoid
She
it,
was
and
struggling.
then Twitter couldn't
yeah,
avoid
somebody
it.
had it.
Y'all
But-
sound like y'all can do better.
Oh man! So what do you guys think? What do you think about that? So she went to like Howard with you, and then she just became a stripper.
Yeah. You better drink. You ain't answer that question.
Nah, hey, that wasn't a question.
Go ahead, Booby. That was a clarification. Was for you. If she used to be a stripper, but now she's a regular schmegular. You know.
Regular.
Yeah, Godspeed, sister.
Ooh, hey.
I don't.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
It's just. Listen.
You gonna
me
pray for
not
her.
wanting you or me not wanting to wife you does not take anything away from you. That just means we are not compatible.
But what I want to
what
know
if
is
she
what
used
is
to
it
be a
about the
stripper?
stripper?
I got a follow up question though.
Please.
Like,
What is?
hypothetically, what if everything about her was just perfect and that you felt was really compatible with you? And then she just had to this one struggle moment of her life, and she stripped for like 30 days because she thought that was the only option
Because
she
rent
had.
was due. I'm
You know
first.
what? You know what? The deeper we dive into this,
Yeah.
and the more layers we're pulling back,
Yeah.
I try to refrain from talking in absolutes.
You and me both. That's
So-
where I
Yeah,
figured that's
so-
where you were
so
gonna go.
Because we don't
everything-
drink Absolute over here. Go ahead.
Good one.
Go ahead.
Good one. So there's a stipulation, there's a circumstance, there's a whatever, right?
there's
Like
always a
you can,
caveat.
we can
Right.
always say, well, what about this and what about this and what if she walked into the strip club and ended up naked in Miami? Like we can just keep going.
Wow.
And going.
What kind of
You
life
never
you
heard about them
living?
spring break girls who was like their ballers would be like, yo, who want their tuition paid? And for one night, you see all these girls get up on the stage.
Oh,
You
I'm
might
doing
too.
it. Amateur night.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
like,
doing
like,
it.
no, not even amateur
much
night.
you
It's just like a
give?
regular, tuition
If you're
paid.
saying I'm paying for your tuition, hello, I don't care.
But you see
Mom,
what I'm saying?
Dad, you
Like,
heard that?
that's-
I agree with you.
You
I gotta-
done
I don't
know if she fully
$45,000.
understands.
So if somebody
I
saying
don't
you
think-
gonna give me
So,
$45K.
I'm just gonna say I'm
Right
not.
now.
I'm not
Today,
interested.
I'm doing-
not
I gotta do a few
interested.
more squats. We can't do that. Makita can get money for our house.
Oh, easy.
Turn up.
But y'all
Yes.
married, so it works.
I
out.
mean, you know, it's what's the word?
I feel you. We're all talking, but I heard you and heard what you were saying.
No, I feel the same
but
way.
like-
No absolutes, but it would be
Probably not.
near impossible to date a stripper or somebody who used to be a stripper. I mean, I'm a
ballers
very.
is out here marrying strippers. It's so
I mean-
frustrating.
And good for them. More
Yeah.
power to them. That's just
Yeah.
not my life.
Yes, people marry broke people too.
Come on.
You're right.
Oh, come on. It happens on a daily basis. Okay, I have some questions as
Go
well.
ahead, baby girl.
Okay.
Water.
Are long distance relationships a fallacy?
Nah, they're actually very, very great if you're with the right person.
Okay.
I think context is everything for everything. It's hard to start a long distance relationship while it's long distance, and it's hard to have a long distance relationship with no end date. But
That's what I was
Come
gonna
on,
say.
expiration.
but outside of that, I think it is possible. You just have to manage it better. There's some articles that say it actually brings out a better version of you, especially if you have more of a clingy personality and things like that. That space helps you appreciate each other and let you value your time versus a lot of just, we've been hanging out, but ain't it going nowhere, so I'm going to call a relationship for the sake of calling a relationship. Versus when you're in a long-distance relationship, especially when time zones are involved, you start to have to schedule calls. You kind of schedule your phone calls to be like dates indirectly. So there are some pluses to it that I think people take for granted. But at the end of the day, it all depends on your patience and if that person is meant for you. And you guys kind of match each other, I think, in my personal opinion.
Come on, Booby. Come on. I know you got something about that.
So,
what's the word?
Long distance relationships are very effective if and only if both parties are invested.
Like any relationship, though.
It takes more.
It takes a way higher level of attention to detail if it's long distance.
Yeah.
And also long distance relationships force you to actually communicate everything. So there's a higher chance that you'll be able to make or break it if you're really in it, because it's like, well, I can't just come to you and see your body language and see how you're feeling.
Right.
Like we literally have to talk everything through. And so because of that,
FaceTime though?
Well, yeah, but
FaceTime is still only
your face.
Right. Part of it, you know, like So I will say this: long distance relationships is not for everybody at all in the slightest bit.
It's not for me.
Especially if one of your love languages is physical touch.
Hello.
Right, and but again, if the person is worth it,
because I want to hang out.
Right. But if the person's worth it, then you'll do what you got to do to make it happen. No questions.
Absolutely. I mean, I was in one when I got to Seattle, and I think the only reason why it worked for our regular visits, look at Matt making noise over there. This guy.
Them DMs is popping.
Right.
She sent a video. Hey.
Okay, you better.
He reached out to his long distance relationship like, yo, I ain't checked in a while.
Hey, big head. Hey, big head. But I was going to say that I think that it worked so long for so well that and kind of what the both of y'all were saying is that we decided like we have to have a standard of how much we see each other for exactly what Booby said. One of my love languages, my first love language is physical touch. And so for me, I cannot go a whole month without spending personal time with you. And I know that that's a thing. And so we decided that we're going to fly twice a month. And so that's something that we did, right? One of us would fly one way and like the other. So we do it like that in order to make that happen. And I think that was really helpful. But I think that people think that, you're able to, like, it costs more money because you have to fly, especially if you live on different coasts and things like that. So I think that what Booby's saying is absolutely accurate. And it takes a level up of commitment in order to really make that work, because you can't just be like, let's like hang out and watch Netflix. Like you can't do that. You can't, spend time in that same kind of like nonchalant way. Like I really had to schedule to watch, Game of Thrones at the same time we watch it together, so we could talk about like that kind of detail to doing things and spending time. And I think that
I know on the other side it's also dangerous. And I'm sure we're all going to be in agreement. One of the dangers of being in a long distance relationship is that the few times you do see each other, everything is heightened. Heightened excitement, better sex. Oh my gosh, I can actually touch you. No little argument. Like everything is heightened. Yeah. So everything is an adventure.
Versus like
regular. And then all of a sudden the normalcy of life is now no longer there.
Absolutely.
Right.
You sound like you're going through this right now.
I absolutely am.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely am.
Do you think, and what I thought was the most interesting.
With the expiration date though?
Yes.
My shorty is moving out here in July.
Come on.
Well, come on.
There's a lot of people not
so
applauding
excited
in the background.
to meet her. I know, right? All the tears, all the tears of the women all in the back. Just some tears, boy.
Well, I know that Olu did say something. He mentioned dates, and something that he said earlier was that he doesn't do dates.
Right, but Booby does dates.
Booby does dates. Can you guys explain what you guys do?
Yeah, Olu. Why?
Who should go first?
I want to know. I want to know. Well, he gonna drink Pellegrino. So
I want to know what your dates are. I want to know why he doesn't do dates.
Yeah, why do you do dates? Why do you love
first
them?
of all, I'll be very frank when I say not everybody deserves a date.
Oh, touche.
Let's start right there.
I agree.
I think that it is absolutely crazy when men are dating and take every single one on a date and spend money on every single one, because quite frankly, let's just keep it a bill. Not every girl is worth the money.
Okay.
Ooh,
And listen, I'm not trying to be rude, but
not
honestly,
every girl is worth the money.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
said,
Because there's some women that you. First of all, it depends on what your intentions are. Let's start right there.
Okay.
It depends on what your intentions are, but
So depending on your intentions, some women are worth the money.
absolutely, no questions about it. Absolutely. Like, I have no problem taking a certain caliber of woman on dates.
What is the
A
caliber?
certain caliber. Let's talk
I'm
about
gonna let
caliber.
you lead here. You leading this one right
Right.
now.
Certain
Don't stress,
caliber.
confess,
What does that
Booby.
mean?
Just let me know when you need some help.
First of all, let's just also keep it frank that some women have that don't come fuck with me unless you're coming correct vibe.
Absolutely.
And so
Okay.
those women, you got to come correct to. There's other women that are like, I just want to,
like,
I just want to
finesse
have
through
fun.
all that.
Nah, it's not even finesse though. So I think
He said,
you were
I
saying
just want to have fun.
actually that's what it is, right? Like I think we forget so much of how friendships happen. And I'm a big believer, and I'm going to speak almost too philosophically here. I know that.
Come on with the knowledge.
Relationships should have some foundation of friendship.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Not that you have to always date somebody who's a friend, but you have to build kind of like a friend, right? And how did y'all become friends?
Well, you're not gonna picture up on the corner, but no.
Yeah. She stopped me from that life.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
and the same thing is relationship can start like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first date?
Yeah,
Yes.
our first date.
Was it that formal?
Yeah.
What was it? Our first date? What the hell?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like nobody's saying y'all get y'all
He
are
doesn't
friends.
mean our first date
Y'all
together,
met.
or do you mean
Then
that?
y'all kicked it.
Yeah.
Then y'all kicked it one-on-one at some point.
Yeah, we did.
Right?
We
Do you
did.
remember the
I'm
first
sorry,
time you
I'm
kicked it
sorry.
one-on-one? Nah.
We were probably lit.
You
So
probably lit,
probably
right?
not.
The most
yeah.
important thing about it was
Yeah.
it was lit. It wasn't about the date location or where you went. It was about you spent time together.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I kind of want to ideally approach relationships that way, or somebody I'm going to build towards a relationship that way. Is like, yo, we kick it. Don't call it a date. It brings unnecessary formality to it.
Right.
We're relationship building. Part of relationship building is having dope conversations, doing dope activities together.
See, so,
Well, shoot, let me
so
give me a Tinder
I'm-
profile and do
Tinder
relationship
profile?
building with Ella.
But see, with me, I'm
Get
a
on
very,
Bumble, girl.
I'm a
Get on
very
Bumble.
particular dude with
And you're more
everything that I
intentional.
do. I'm so
Yeah.
so because I travel as much as I do, because I don't have the time. If there's two main things that will set a woman apart from every other woman I'm involved with, and that's if I spend my time and my money on you. If I don't do either one of them, then chances are you fall into the abyss. But if it's like if I spend my time and my money on you, then I want you to know that I value
Yeah,
you.
but
You're
before
at
that-
a higher level.
From day one? Because
From-
I'm saying, because and that's the interesting thing about the first date is time and money is committed.
Right.
And that's part of the reason I think you mentioned that not everybody deserves a date or is worthy of a date.
Absolutely.
And which I can't
Some
disagree
people
with.
just get a FaceTime.
And
Oh hell no!
Or
But
text.
Not even that.
Or a
That's
text
a lot of
back.
work.
no, but what I like to always bring up in those scenarios is then how do you decide everything before that first air quotes date? Or how did you decide this one individual is worthy of your time and money without knowing that much about them?
Let me give you a perfect example. I was at a restaurant.
That's where it really happens.
Absolutely. So I'm huge on vibes and energy.
Absolutely.
I'm big on observing the woman before she even knows that I'm observing.
Yo,
So,
I drink to that.
brother.
People take that for granted so much. Like
I
you
feel
being
left
interviewed,
out.
you being scoped on a regular basis without
So
knowing.
some main things that I observe from you is one, how do you carry yourself,
Yep.
and how do you interact with other people.
Yep.
And so then I can get a sense of your vibe, and then I see how you come up if you're in my presence from in yours, and the energy from that point, right?
Yeah.
So there was a young lady out here.
we don't say
and it-
names.
Absolutely not. And this is
Yeah,
a
this
brick.
is-
This is a
yeah,
brick
no.
ago. This is like
a brick, right?
well over a year ago.
Okay.
And she was the only one that I like really pulled up on. But like right when I saw her, I immediately looked at my homie and was like, oh. And then when she came up, she said a word and I caught her vibe. So then I offered her to sit down at our table and eat with us because it
she
was like
said
a big
one
function.
word, or she said a word.
Right.
It's not the
She said,
word.
"Hey, what up?" A
It's who
word.
said it, how they said it, the way
Absolutely.
it was delivered, the way it landed on his ears.
So because
You know
we
what I'm
think
saying?
about it, communication is only 7% verbal. It's 93% non-verbal. So there's a lot of other shit that goes
Look
into
at
it,
you
right?
with the
You gonna cite those?
Come on,
You gonna
Dad.
cite
Cite those
numbers.
sources,
Come on,
boy.
Right.
Come on.
So anyway, so when she came up, and then I asked her and her friend if they want to sit down with me and my homie, Then I had a 45-minute analysis on like, now let's
And this
really
is not
talk.
a date.
And this is not a date.
And that's where that's where it get popping, in my opinion.
And so then after that,
Yeah.
then it was like, oh, say less. I saw her every day that week.
And then did
and
you
it was
count all of those as
intentional.
dates?
Absolutely.
All right,
and then
I'm
what I began doing was I put her in different situations to see how she would handle herself.
Yeah.
So I took her on a formal date, a dinner date.
Yeah.
Then I took her out to a social event where my man was DJing. Then I took her to a YSL fashion show. Then I was just doing different things that were all dates.
I'm trying to figure out who this is.
But they were,
I'm going back to the
first of all, it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
This is the past.
I got you after,
But
bro.
it's a super past. But you know what I'm saying? Like I was very intentional with her because I was like, oh, I might see potential here.
And then,
But then you passed
I
it
like
up,
asking relationship questions.
Go
And then what
ahead.
happened? It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
But I don't regret anything about
Of course
that.
not.
And
What
this
happened? She
young
took her
lady is
wig
an
off, or what
amazing
happened?
woman, and I think that she's going to make somebody very happy. Absolutely. And I mean that from the bottom
and
of
I
my
think
heart.
the only part of the reason I asked that, I assumed she was a woman of high status and class.
Come on with the bougie.
Absolutely.
But not everybody's for everybody. You know. I mean, you might be the best peach in the world, but that person might be allergic to peaches.
That's Peach.
And
Come on, Peach.
that's just life.
Absolutely.
And I think those are the harder ones.
What
cut it off with?
What do you do when somebody is literally
Don't.
perfect on paper and in person,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't work out?
Yeah.
And that's when
That's
it gets
the hardest
really,
situation.
That's when it gets difficult.
You drink a whole bottle of wine by yourself and cry.
Yeah, but that's happened to me, and I think I've talked about that on the
Oh,
show
really?
before. Yeah, like you're a great time, you're funny, you're good to spend time with, but just because I don't know, those. Somebody being perfect on paper, someone being fun that you spend time with, you can get along, you can see yourself spending time with them, or it doesn't feel like a drag. That doesn't then mean that you're like automatically connected like romantically in that way. And I've had that happen where I was like, oh, this guy is like everything.
Right.
And I hang out with him and I'm like, really, we can only be friends. If that
Why?
makes
Yeah,
sense. Like you can only be friends.
and you gotta
there
go
are
with
some
your-
things
with
that
your
exist
gut.
and don't.
Yeah.
Right. Either you have that
I
kind of
think it's called
chemistry or
the
you
it
don't.
factor.
Yeah, either you have it or
Sum
you
it all
don't.
up. It's the
And-
it factor, and
and
everybody's
just-
it factor
yeah.
is different.
And if it just
Ah.
doesn't feel right, you can't do it, because I've been in a situation where it's like,
could
this is a great
try.
person, but it's just like, it is painful for me to continue on. with
Painful
this
is a hard word.
Painful, it is, but it's painful because when you know that that's not somewhere that you're supposed to be.
Okay?
So
Say
you
that.
have to go with your gut feeling. Your gut is never going to steer you wrong, and you go with the vibes, you know what I'm saying? And then you have to move on from that, because by staying in a situation that you know is not right for you, you're also hurting the other person. And so, and also the pain of knowing that I'm holding this person back from what their potential is, I'm out.
Right. I don't want to be that toxic person in that person's life. I
What
always
happens if
think
you
about
get,
that.
is y'all say addicted?
Addicted.
You talking about
You
addiction
want
to what the dick did?
Addicted.
Come on.
Is there emphasis on any of these words?
clarify.
Hey, that's
You gotta-
hard. You gotta be able to break it up, bust it down or something. Don't
mean-
bust it down. That's how you get addicted. I don't know. Hell, you better run.
There are
You
two.
better run.
You better go to church.
I don't know. In my book, there are two ways to get over that. Okay, you can there's two ways. There's things you can do.
You go to
Either
the little store.
you should have already been at the store. First of all, you
Right.
should always have that. You better stay ready.
There's always a
gotta
way to
have that.
get
Okay,
clear your head. Listen to some
right.
Cardi
Make
B.
better decisions. Okay,
You're right
So,
back into it.
First of all, you handle
They
that.
appreciate batteries as gifts, by the way.
Come
You
on.
know the worst thing I ever experienced was like trying to live
special.
my best life and then realized I didn't have any fucking batteries. And then I had to go to the
See?
store to
Yo.
get batteries, bro. I was hurt.
But new
Hurt.
batteries.
Gems from Brother Olu.
That right. But
Like,
new
come
batteries
on.
will have you feeling like a new person.
Oh.
Okay. All right. There we go.
You be feeling brand new. But what I was gonna say is either you can just it depends on what kind of space you're in. If it's a space where you know that if you continue to see that person and it's gonna be toxic the longer that either you or the other person, you have to just cut that, let it die, and you can't let eggplants run your life, as difficult as that may be. Or there's
can't,
other
but
ways
they
in which
will.
you might be able to finesse and continue with the extracurriculars without continuing the romantic things, and then
Extracurriculars. What do you mean by extracurriculars exactly? Because it sounds a little extra.
it is. All the extracurriculars are the ways in which you take care of what you're supposed to take care of, and you take care of them very well.
When you run out of batteries?
Yes.
No, you
Or when
the
I use the batteries. And then, or you can then also, so maybe 3 ways, right? Or then you can also just like live.
Run that back.
There
Three
are
ways?
3 ways, like 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I said, girl.
I hate y'all.
All right.
You can, my sister likes to say rinse, reuse, recycle. You keep this person until you're able to replace him.
Rinse, reuse,
Yes.
recycle.
That is the way
are
we live
not
the life.
objects. People
Come
are
on,
not objects.
come on.
People are not objects.
Y'all rinse, reuse, recycle
Right.
too, so
but
calm
at
down.
3
Never,
a.m.
never.
After a few
Yes,
shots.
you do.
Never.
Yes, you
People
do.
are
Yes, you
objects.
do.
Never in my life.
Let me be clear with
Never
what rinse,
in my
reuse, recycle means.
Never in your life this
Never
week.
in my life.
However,
I treat women with the utmost respect.
The
I would
utmost.
never degrade them to
I'm a
suck.
Howard
no,
man.
you better shut up.
You look and
please.
sound
Never.
like you lying.
Right.
What?
Everything. It don't matter what you say. You sound like you lying.
yeah.
It don't
I have a deep
matter.
voice. I sound like I'm lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, hella lying.
You both say yeah, very emphatically, and I have a problem with that.
Wait.
Who not a liar then? Because y'all be calling everybody a liar.
Well, it's all about. Remember what he said is communication is 70% nonverbal.
Yeah.
And
First
I
of all,
checked
that's
out.
worse than that. Come
and-
on,
and I-
somebody's
whatever-
listening.
whatever,
That
and I
liquor
li-
must be hitting your ass, ain't it?
No, it ain't hit me. Oh, you know what's really about to hit you though? It's my foot up that
She been working
yellow
out,
line.
y'all.
Yeah, I'm just a little high
I
kick.
can't.
So since we're on light skin
yeah.
colors,
Yeah.
Makita, did you have a question for the group?
Oh,
This
I
is a
did.
good one.
And I got this from the boys on Twitter. So
Because I have a good response to that.
I want to hear your response first.
Okay.
So we got to figure out. So today there was just all kinds of things are trending on Black Twitter. But anyway, some girl posted. She said, "So is men not wanting women because of skin tone the same as y'all not wanting them for height?" I'm gonna repeat that question because I heard all the people.
Because I have
Get
2
tight.
ways that I want to answer that question.
Is men
Well, how
not
about you
wanting?
go first?
Okay.
Is men not wanting women because of skin tone
Okay.
the same as y'all as us not wanting them for height? Yeah, let's just see. We gonna go ahead, see. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So it's
And all the short niggas say yes.
yes, but I will say that is you're comparing apples to oranges. There, we're talking about skin color and skin tone versus height. I would prefer not to date somebody that's like shorter than me or like just a little bit
But
taller
you're
than
short
me.
though.
What's short? Well, I'm 5'5", brown eyes. You know what I'm saying? So that's anything below that or around that is too short for me. So there's that.
Too short? What if they were perfect in every other way?
Doesn't exist.
Hey,
I don't
here
know,
go
you
Olu with these
5'4".
stipulations.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I got to
Alright,
think
alright.
about it, but I would prefer to date a guy that's taller than me.
Oh, so do you prefer skin tone then?
Okay, let's go there. So this is no offense to Booby or Makita and their light skin.
Shut up!
But
Team chocolate,
yeah,
dark
team
chocolate over here.
But for me, honestly, okay, so this is what happened to me.
Okay. What
So
happened?
when I went to Africa a few years ago,
Oh,
I went
big.
to Ghana, more specifically.
Yeah, she
West
came back
Africa.
brand new.
I had such an appreciation for like just chocolate, dark skinned men, and so I don't think I've ever really. I don't know. It's like. I don't know, maybe like some of the light skinned guys that I've interacted with have those light skinned stereotypes.
They got tendencies.
Hella sensitive, don't have time, too pretty.
Oh, bro, I'm not offended. She ain't talking about me.
Yeah, no. We're talking about guys that
Hey,
I'm
it's
like
okay, you guys.
attracted to.
Booby don't sound light
yeah.
skinned, so sorry.
Yeah, Booby don't even sound light skinned, so that was hella racist too. But whatever. No, I definitely prefer guys that are darker skinned.
Me too.
Praise the Lord. So that's all I have to say. But I don't think it's.
I used to only date light skinned people exclusively, not on purpose, but like forever.
Never.
And my mom always says that it's because you end up dating people that remind you of your dad, right? You have a good household. That's
my
the
dad's
normal.
he's pretty caramel.
And my dad is
so.
pretty light skinned, and I don't
He's the
know
same
why.
skin
I
as me.
still, though, even though I have since switched to chocolate men, I still end up dating men that are.
Switch?
I switched like I quit cigarettes and switched to weed.
Sure
Got
did.
it.
Sure did. Not on purpose, actually, though. Honestly, like once I dated a darker skinned guy in college, I just ended up not dating another light skinned person, which is not like I don't look for them because there are many fine light skinned men that I know and love dearly.
But
I see them.
Get approached by light skinned dudes.
I
don't know what
haven't
it is.
since I lived in
Might
Seattle.
Be the Rumble in the Jungle. I
In
don't know.
Denver,
You don't never
in
approach
Denver,
them?
I do. Light skinned men usually in Denver.
No, I don't.
But in Seattle, there's been chocolate, and chocolate
And
likes me,
remind
and
me.
I like it.
I have a question after this. Go ahead.
Go ahead. But I want to hear the boys, because I mean, I
Go
can
ahead.
answer, but I don't want to even
Let's
answer
hear it for
yet.
the boys.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, a lot of people like a lot of things for a lot of different reasons.
Here it comes.
This guy.
I mean, that's just it. For me specifically, I don't have a type. But
bad.
Then do you think is it the same? Do you think that those are the same comparison?
I love
hey,
beautiful women, and that's a very open-ended statement. But beauty, there's a lot of different markers for beauty, and a lot of beauty comes from within. Not even to be cliche, there's a lot of bad-looking women that don't know they're beautiful or exercise their beauty and believe in it, that they don't come off as beautiful as they could, and vice versa. Some women just not as bad, but their spirit is so beautiful that they come off way more attractive than everybody else. So it's just so many layers to it. And then light skin complexion thing, I don't really have a preference. Everybody thinks I have a type. That's what I always find funny, but it's the woman inside.
The question. What's your type?
I mean, everybody thinks I like light skin, curly, dark haired girls, but nah.
Yeah, I usually get that a lot.
But is it the same?
No, wait. Going back to the question, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm horrible at answering questions.
That question was, is women
it's not the same.
It's not the same?
It's not the same.
Tell the people why.
There are, in America, it's definitely not the same, because I also like to think of things both globally and in America.
Come on with the education.
In America, everything is so black and white, and there's so many stereotypes and prejudices on top of race that you can't compare it to height preference.
Totally.
Outside of America, in some not so Western worlds, it all kind of comes down to the history of the area and the people, and kind of the stereotypes and biases and prejudices that exist on skin tone. And I think that's really what it is. And because nobody really questions the person who likes only dark skinned people only. It's more usually the other type, or people who prefer something different from their own skin color. It just looks a little contradictory. So
what did you say?
Hey.
It's the rub.
Chill on my man, bro.
Okay,
hey,
Booby. What you think, Booby? What you think? Is it the same? Comparing the preference of wanting a certain skin tone and height, is that the same?
Absolutely not. Everything that my good brother over here said, completely co-sign.
Right. Okay. So
nothing else needs to be.
I gotta speak to some people in particular, and I'm just going. Terrell Green. I'm talking to you in particular because you're the only person that I heard today say that they're the same. Actually, no, Ren, you said that too today. That it's the same thing. So both of y'all, I had to wait till 3 other people said the same thing.
It's not.
And it's not the same thing. And the reason why I think that it's not the same fundamentally, even if we're comparing in a nutshell, we're not coming with any kind of philosophical argument as to the other reasons that influence that, because there are many. But when you look at how men decide, I only want to date a light, and we're talking, and that's the context of the Twitter question. That is the context when she's talking about men saying they want to date a type of woman or a woman, right? Certain color of woman, and that's the context. You don't got to look at me like that. But what she's getting at is the way that women feel that men only want lighter skinned, softer hair, or white women. That was what I assume that's what she's talking about.
They want to screw
and
everything.
The way that they're talking about the height difference, right? That's not the same thing, because what we hear when men say, "Oh, I only date Spanish women," or "I only date light-skinned women," they don't just say that's what I prefer, right? And so the reason why you can't compare them is because they're not just like, yeah, like Latin girls are the best. No, I like Latin girls because she's not like black women. I like lighter skinned women because she doesn't have an attitude like dark skinned women. I'm saying that's my answer to this Twitter question. But really that's what you hear, versus like, I don't like guys that are shorter than me because I'm 6 feet with heels on. Like, that's a functional reason. And that also goes to show
that's
that
a functional reason?
Is that
what function cannot be met?
Let me know.
Functional. If you are shorter than me, I really generally, I don't get the same kind of like natural feeling of safety. Like, if something was gonna happen, if you're the same size as me or half my size, who gonna keep who safe?
Right, I can't fall into you.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9". If I have heels on, I'm 6 feet. I'm not
Vic might
a
be your
small
height.
Person.
Who else might be your height?
If you are 5, but however, I will say I have dated somebody that's also only 5'9" or 5'10". So just because I prefer somebody to be 6 feet or above, that does not then indicate that I don't date men or I don't interact with men that are shorter.
Everybody just
I just prefer. What?
Your what might be her height?
I said
Mike
Vick. Oh, damn!
I was sitting here like looking at Booby like, did you hear that? Are we just gonna let it pass? What the hell?
Put the bottle down.
I don't know.
Put the bottle down.
I had the same thing the whole time.
Put the bottle down.
Well, since we're talking about short and tall.
Oh my God.
Big and tall.
Lord have us mercy.
Do you prefer, and this can go for both sides. Do you prefer short hair or long hair?
I like what she like.
Good answer.
He said, cool out.
That was a great political answer. I loved it.
I like this.
Wow.
They say
Now answer for real.
one of the ones I learned from the OGs: happy wife, happy life.
Exactly.
And so that's absolutely fair. But
However,
before she's a wife,
Yeah.
you can then begin to form the woman that you want or find the one that fits your desires.
Oh,
And
this is a
so-
segue to the conversation about building a good housewife.
all right. Let's talk about
I
it.
had no comments on that. But I prefer natural versus fake.
true shit.
That's short or long, I don't care. I just prefer your real versus your fake. And now I've had a lot of women come up to me, and I went to the illustrious Howard University where I was actually shook.
HU.
You know, I was shook when I found out how many women actually didn't have real anything. And that shook
say
because
that again.
all the
No,
Real
don't say just real
anything.
anything.
And those are protective styles, but go ahead.
Right, well, but and that's fine, and I support that. But if you look at how I was raised, all the women in our family had natural everything,
Say that.
and so I began to think that was the norm and not
The
the
opposite.
anomaly. And
Okay,
so that
onwards.
messed me up when I.
So I kind of agree with you there.
He
I
said
prefer
real everything.
natural,
My nails are real. So.
but I'm also taking a step back to say it's not really my say. It's not really my say in how she wears her hair. So I'm struggling with it right at this moment. Like,
Oh, okay.
yo, do I want to cut off all non-natural hair women? Nah, but it's not my preference.
And that's a good point. Like my shorty, I took her to Costa Rica, and she was like, "Well, if I'm about to be out there, I want to get a weave,
Oh, totally.
whatever."
Yeah, I can't
and
deal with
and
that.
she knows I'm not with it, but I just said, "Okay."
You like what she like?
It's that simple because I know her natural basis is not that. But if she want to throw this in, or I'm about to take her to San Fran for her
You better
birthday.
fire her
So
out.
if it's like, all right, she wants to do it for her birthday. All right,
For her birthday.
you know I'm not really with the shits, but I'm with you. So
Okay.
I like what you like.
Good answer.
I like what you like.
I will
Exactly.
say on the woman's side, I have short hair on
Come
purpose.
on,
I
girl.
chopped it off, but I keep
Bald
my
head, scallywag. Ain't got no hair in the back.
You asshole. First of all, it's bald baddie. First of all, and I cut my hair off on purpose. Oh, Matt, that's funny too. Whatever. So,
Let him live.
so anyway, but I do like to keep my braids in every now and then because I like some length. But when it comes to like dating, obviously, like I used to be like, I am not dating a guy with longer hair than mine. But then when
That's
I cut
what I
my hair
said.
off, all bets were off because clearly I have
everybody
no
hair is longer than yours.
Yeah. So yeah, but I still have my edges, so don't drive me. So anyway,
That's actually
so
very-
Wait, you still not dating dudes with a hair longer?
no, I'm fine with it because I
Olu just
because I
wants
don't
to
have
know
hair.
if y'all would ever work.
Oh
That's
my
what Olu
gosh,
was
you're
getting
so,
at.
no, guys with dreads, great, wonderful. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, your hair's gonna be
Olu,
longer
do
than
you
mine.
prefer
They
the
used to
term
ruin my
locks or
life,
dreads?
best friend.
Yeah, guys with
Ruin
dreads
my life.
have
I really
ruined my life.
don't care.
Okay, I've actually,
No,
I've
because I'm a
actually
big
had-
person on intent, and ignorance is real, and
So what do you
That's
call it
it.
when you're talking about your hair?
both depend on how much I have to drink.
So I've
normally you say locks?
had people like try and charge me
Yeah,
up
yeah.
for calling them dreads.
No,
And they're
no.
like, "Do you know where that comes from?" And they're like, "It's only locks." I was
Oh,
like,
so what are you
alright.
supposed to call them?
Locks.
Locks only.
Locks, sorry.
Right, and
Ear
not
bone.
dreadlocks.
Oh.
Just
'Cause
locks.
the word
Excuse me.
dread and
Yeah,
all
it's
that
a
kind
whole
of stuff,
different
right?
scenario.
The more you know.
Yeah, you learn something every day. So before we get out of here, because Matt is giving us the evil eye, and Mia yelled at us for not meeting our hour mark, and we still not gonna meet it, but we gonna get close. So before we go, we gonna have a little.
Woman behind. You know,
Right, she gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be all right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
sure, all right.
You know, and see, we gonna make it. So we gonna play a quick little round of this or that. Okay.
This or that.
And we are
Yo, I'm a
some.
Libra.
Jesse.
Hey.
I can't choose.
Yes, you better choose
Libra.
quick.
You better
It's
balance
rapid.
it out.
It is rapid fire, you guys, and we're not going to go into depth. You just answer the question, okay? We'll all answer
Yes or
them.
no?
It's not yes or no. It's
Or
pick
you
one of the
take a
things.
drink.
Okay.
And if you don't answer, you take a drink. Everybody answers very quickly,
Booby,
okay?
that's why Booby saves his drink because
Right.
he's trash.
I don't have a
I've been
drink, so
drinking this
Sierra,
whole
I need more
time.
alcohol. I don't have
Come on.
anything.
I'm
But
on
we'll
the
keep
I'm your
going.
bartender.
Are you guys ready?
just
We're gonna.
slowly.
We've got 10 of them. We're gonna
Uh-huh.
just go ahead. Everybody says
You know
them
I got you.
as we go. Okay? You got the rules.
Come
Answer
on,
quick.
brother.
Nothing else.
Ready for
So,
it.
first one, nipple piercings or she's got her pink parts pierced. I say nipple piercing. That's me.
I like what she like.
Nah, you got a treat.
Hey. I like what she like. Let's go. I like what she like.
Y'all can't even come.
Next question, please. Next question.
Pick one.
The game is
I
called
already drank. I like them both. Actually,
this or that.
I am
One or
not
the
going to be
other.
an oppressive man. I understand sexism. I'm an ally in feminism and all that. It's her choosing, you know? And I like what she like.
I like what she like.
I'll say nipple. I would rather not
Take
make
the
it
risk.
even more complicated than it already is down there.
I do
You
have a
right,
friend
though. I'll
who
be
has
worried for
her
Yeah,
other
because
parts
there's
and it's pretty
factors
cool.
like
I thought we
risk-
weren't talking about it.
You're right.
But
I'm
risk
sorry.
factors, sorry,
You're right.
there's
You're
risk
right.
factors
Thank you.
down
there. No, I
for
think most
keeping
of the
us
risk are
honest.
mitigated,
Integrity.
Okay.
Okay, jacuzzi sex or shower sex?
Clean.
Shower.
Now, showers are always cleaner. Be careful in jacuzzis. You don't own it. It ain't your jacuzzi.
Who said it's not? I'm gonna say shower.
I would say shower. I'm not about to be in no hot dog water. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, stop. Okay, really tall or really, really short? Like really tall girl or really, really short?
I don't discriminate.
Nah, chill, fam.
No.
We gonna answer
Pick
two.
one. Yes or no. Pick
Like
one.
really
don't
tall,
care.
like 7 feet tall, or if she's like 4'9".
7 feet, though?
Hey, I said really tall. So like 7 feet, or she's
a small
or
person.
she's like 4'9".
A small person.
Yeah, like
Okay.
4'9".
A little person.
Let's go. We can go. We doing those extremes. Let's
Yes.
go little person.
I want really tall.
Really tall day. I'm climbing trees.
I'm going to just drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Next question.
Oh my god. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. Slap your mom, or cheat on the love of your life and lose her forever.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta pick one.
That's hard.
Pick one.
First of all, I love my
You
mama.
better
So do
drink.
I,
Yeah.
but you pick one.
And I love the love of my life.
yeah.
How hard are we talking to slap your mom? Is there money involved? No, I'm gonna hit my mom. I'm not stupid.
You look
But for
like the
$1
type that
million?
would try it though.
I would never.
You look like
huh?
the type that was a real defiant ass kid.
This is a question.
Not against my mom.
How much to smack your mom?
How much about how much?
How much would it
$1
take
million?
for you to smack your
If
mom?
it was like in the millions and I was like, Mom, we gotta take this L, she would.
1,000.
Oh hell no.
Your mom might
You
say
look
yes.
like you would
That's
do
it.
it for a crisp $100 bill.
No.
It gotta be crisp though.
and your mom gonna be like, "Don't be stupid. You better do this."
Right.
And that's
Girl, that's red lobster
and that's
for
all.
two.
Nah, and she like, that's mostly my money,
Right.
but I'm gonna let you have some.
Going to hell. I would
Let you
never
have some.
do that.
Absolutely.
Well, well, actually,
For a
there's your
$100
number
bill?
and then there's your mother's number. How much do you think your mother? At what point
Oh,
would your
see, I
mother be
already know
upset
the
at you
answer.
if you don't smack her?
If I don't, it'll be some millions. Like,
You don't think
My
your
mom
mother
would
would
put her
settle for
face
100
up like,
grand?
come on.
oh no, she would
Come
be
on.
mad about that too. But if
Yeah.
my mom was with it, and I was like, Mom, you know this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts
Yeah.
you.
And we
I
all
can't
gonna
wait to
get
use
paid.
that line.
Yeah.
I like the minute I have a kid that talk back and I get to
Ooh, that
handle
hurts
that.
more than I
Yeah,
I can't
mine.
wait.
Well, my
This
mom would be
hurts
for
me.
it.
We not beating black kids no more.
No, we
You
still
seen
don't
that?
catch
You
the
seen the
same.
episode of Atlanta?
Wow.
That's a
I
whole
haven't
topic
been
in
watching.
itself.
We slapping them. Get
Okay,
smart.
okay, we're
Get
going.
smart. Get slapped. That's
Sorry,
the
we're not
motto.
doing good at this game, you guys. Ooh,
Slow down.
ooh, booby.
Don't get too
Cut your
excited.
beard off forever or be bald forever.
Ooh, how would he look?
So
You have to pick one.
I cut my beard off and go with a goatee. That's simple.
Like,
But
no
we're
facial
talking about
hair.
nothing. Like you.
Oh,
we
naked
talk-
mole rat?
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking
Yeah,
about
you go
no.
bald. You
I'm
go
bald.
bald. You go bald. You go bald.
bald.
You
Look,
go bald.
look.
You know what? There's
That's
like,
easy.
yeah, you can't. Nah,
That
you
was
can't.
Like,
so
look, if I can keep
weird.
a goatee, that's what I used to
Yeah.
have all in college.
Yeah.
So that's nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no
go-
beard.
go-
Nothing,
Goatee's
no
like a
nothing.
crown.
Absolutely.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
you-
We got all the drip. Right. Go ahead.
All the sauce.
Drip.
All the
Wow.
sauce. Can you do that voice one more time? I don't think the people heard
Because
it.
his voice, I've just been trying not to laugh.
Would you make it seem
Yeah,
like we don't
absolutely.
talk?
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, go ahead.
I can't do
Next
that.
The
question.
epitome of head ass.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, no chicken ever again,
Oh my god.
or no more macaroni pie ever again. No.
What is a macaroni pie? What the
Macaroni
hell is
Making a
that?
macaroni pie.
Like macaroni pie, like the best macaroni pie I've ever had. Do you
Wait,
know?
okay, first of all, what is macaroni pie?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Caribbean,
In the Caribbean, it's the baked macaroni and cheese.
Yeah,
You guys call it
in
just
the
like
Caribbean.
macaroni, but we call it macaroni pie. Is what it is.
Oh, so it's just regular macaroni.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
like
mac and cheese,
the
mac and
black
cheese,
people
mac and cheese.
version.
Mac and
Oh,
cheese.
I can
Mac and cheese.
substitute with Alfredo all kinds of things, but I'm not leaving chicken.
So no chicken ever again, or no macaroni pie
everybody
ever
chooses
again.
chicken. Even with the vegan phase, you still choosing chicken.
Yeah.
So we getting rid of
I'm
macaroni.
picking chickenless chicken.
But then you could still
You
eat
need to leave.
macaroni.
But I'm just saying, it's
really
actually
good.
hella
Meatless
bombs.
is really good.
Go for it.
Okay, so I guess everybody really needs chicken. I feel that. Okay. I feel like this isn't a good enough comparison. Okay, does everybody know who Margot Robbie is?
No.
Now refresh my memory.
Oh, you don't?
We could just move on to the next question.
I was trying to
That's doing
compare.
a lot.
This is the slowest lightning round I've
Well,
ever
we're back to this. Jay-Z or Lil Wayne?
Jay, come on,
all
next
day.
question.
Dark or light liquor?
Dark. The
Next
darker the
question.
berry.
Sweeter the juice.
Rihanna or J-Lo?
Woo!
Got y'all that.
Yeah.
Nah.
Right.
Rihanna.
You gotta go Rihanna.
I'm going Rihanna.
I need the
But,
logic on
but
this one.
his heart really wants to go to
Nah.
J-Lo. He's into it.
No.
Rihanna
15 years
got-
ago, you might have chose otherwise.
Say less.
That's all I was gonna say.
So Rihanna today
that?
or
Nope, we're not doing that. We're doing only today.
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
or
Rihanna.
J-Lo at any point ever because she's pretty much looked the same. Bad
her
as
whole
fuck her
life.
whole
Yeah,
life.
that's
so
not fair.
so instead of saying like
Rihanna
old
had to
Rihanna,
glow
we mean
up.
like bad Rihanna,
Yeah,
like
but-
bad as hell or like
Wait, what are we talking? Are we talking music?
Listen, Linda.
No, what they look like.
Rihanna got vibes.
Not her music. We're talking about what they look
I'm
like.
thinking music because like her production, Rihanna's is nuts.
You are a music nerd. I forgot. We are talking about these
Absolutely.
women, what
Yeah,
they look like,
like,
keeping.
oh.
No, Booby doesn't materialize women. That's why he didn't go there first.
Look at
brother.
you.
Come on,
Oh,
brother.
Caribbean
brother.
food or soul
Olu,
food?
Good brother.
I'm
No
really
trash.
so
No more
hungry.
cheers.
Come on.
Caribbean food or soul food?
Oh,
Caribbean all day. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Because you know that means a Caribbean woman prepared it, and it was just like
Let me snap another
Caribbean women are
round.
everything.
Oh, come on, baby.
Oh.
Come on, baby.
I
Yeah.
think I puked.
Y'all heard that? Oh, okay. Don't hate.
What did you say?
Except for
Booby?
this one. Except for this one.
Oh, word.
Good job.
Cool.
You are too Americanized. You are from Colorado.
You already got it right.
These two citizenships count. These two passports count, and all my food that all y'all eat when I
Anybody
cook it
can
count.
buy a Caribbean passport.
You can't.
How
Not
many-
ours.
Wait, how many people in your island?
A lot.
Less than Seattle.
It still matter. We got heart though. We all
Oh,
count.
this is a good question.
What's the question?
Hairy women or women with no hair?
When you say hairy, what do you? How deep? do you
Vibes
mean?
only.
So we got armpits.
Ooh.
Hairy or no?
They got surgeries for that. You know, you could get a LASIK and all of that.
She's never gonna get rid of it. Either she doesn't
Yeah.
have armpit hair,
Or she has
or
it.
it's just
Actually,
like
no.
real deal.
All right, scent is about everything to me, and it's still if her scent is dope, I could do it. But
But if you kissing on her neck and her arm is up like this, and she's got like long
Booby is
scragglies,
stressed.
like
Hey
tickling
bro,
your
hey
forehead.
bro, the all natural shit on the arms, on the legs, on the underarms, that's not me.
So
God bless you.
He's like, I don't care what we're talking about.
Look.
Doesn't
shag
matter.
rug or Brazilian?
That's a cute way to put it.
There we go.
nah, that's. I mean, he gonna say Brazilian.
Come on.
Because he's light skinned. Go
He said
ahead.
hello. You
Brazilian
gotta
word.
answer.
I like Brazil.
Okay.
Okay.
Me too. So do
Bring
I.
it back.
I can't deal with you guys. Let me see. I don't think we had any other, amazing
Well,
ones.
we do have
we
the
one
success
good
one.
I was gonna read
We're the
it.
success one, then we're going to wrap
Okay, we've
up.
got one more, and then we're out of here. I just gotta know. So, last question: who deserves a success? Okay, or deserves a part of the success? A, ex-girl who was there when we were talking about the success. B, ex-girl who was there when the success started. Or C, new girl who was there during the success.
My mama. Fuck out of here.
Your mom already, she always is gonna be there. She counts. That's
Yo,
that you don't even gotta
alright.
mention your mom.
You ain't even gotta answer this question. It's one of those. Whenever people be at the Grammys or award shows, you know what I'm saying? You thank God, you thank your family, and then you thank your wife. But the side chick never, and the new chick never get a thank you.
I don't know, dog.
The new girl,
In a text
Yo,
message.
so, in those type of situations, why would you even bring that up? All you're doing is giving dirt and drama for other people to talk about. We don't do that shit. Now, if you want to talk about it in the confines of your own quarters, then okay.
One-on-one?
Yeah, that's completely different. So if you just want to be like, yo, I definitely want to pay homage to so and so who did this for me. Like giving gratitude and paying homage is never a bad thing, and it's actually a high level of humility. But when it comes to the big stage, oh nah, pimp, you hit them top 3 and you keep it pushing. First of all, you only get like a minute to talk anyway.
Right?
Hit them top 3, keep it pushing. Don't look back.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another follow-up question to this, and then we're done because I really want to know based on what you just said. So, say you were together. I know Matt's gonna murder me, but I just really want to know what you guys
Ask the
think.
question, ask the question.
If you, like what Booby just said, you always pay homage to people that were there for you. So, say you were with the girl for like 5 years, she was holding you down, whatever, and then just like naturally you guys broke up. You get on, you get a new girl, right? Does your girl that was grinding with you when you didn't have any, do you cut her a check too? Like, do you throw her some? You made hella bread, right? But she was with you while you was earning it, burning for it, and you just gonna be like, thanks for all your support, or
if she was a capital investor, you know what I mean? I mean, she put in some real work and time investing in your craft. I don't see a problem with it. And that's just what it is. That person played an integral part in your glow up. They should be blessed as well.
I agree with that to an extent.
Integral part.
Blessed,
if
but
it's
not
going
publicly.
to be right, nothing needs to be public. But if it's going to be anything at all, it needs to be one time.
Oh yeah.
There you go. That you ain't getting no damn residuals.
Nah, ain't no points on this.
And it's just kind of like hey, you just caught the short straw. Because like, as I said, it depends on some things. I may not, depending on the time between we ended in the glow up. Like, there's a lot of stipulations.
Say 1 year, yeah.
There's a lot of stipulations.
And it depends on like how much you got left over after taxes, after you broke your family off, took care of your girl, you know what I'm saying, took care of all the people else, and then there's a lot left over, she gonna get something.
Yeah, you better give
I won't even say what I think, but we appreciate you guys for your input. But before we go, even though we did something a little different for the little Dirty 30, we still have a local lookout.
Yes, there's a local lookout. So, Northwest Naturals Expo will be happening April 20th through the 22nd of this month. It's going to be a 3-day event. This is like their 4th or 5th year running. I know I go every year. They're going to start off with a networking soiree on Friday. Saturday is an expo. There's also going to be food trucks, a cosmic entertainment night, and there's going to be a barber battle as well. They're having a hair show on Sunday. And so go and get tickets at www.northwestnaturalsexpo.com. And you can get all the information there. And there's like single event tickets. There's a whole bundle for the weekend, but regardless, it's a good time. You get a little goodie bag. And it's great. And
What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is probably not only the expo, because then you get to buy things and get a lot of samples from people, and buy clothes and things, but also the night, because then they have like an African show or whatever, African night. I think this year, some kind of cosmic entertainment, so that could be anything. That could be like hella Afro-Caribbean.
Right.
So,
and this year you might see you know, your girls, yours truly over here with some media passes. You might catch us behind the scenes with some light. So, you know, we might, catch you there. So stay tuned for that. We'll remind you guys again before that comes up. But before we go, cheers to both Olu and Booby for joining us for our Dirty 30. We appreciate you.
Clink.
And as always, you guys, we love you. Like, subscribe, follow, tell all your friends, tell your mom, and we will catch you next week on Black in the City.
Bye.
Love you, bye.
Cheers.